Every year, on a single Sunday in late May, motorsports fans are treated to what many consider to be the greatest day in all of auto racing, a global showcase of speed, endurance, and tradition that spans across the globe. For us racing fans, we all feel like kids on Christmas morning when the day comes. The grand day begins in Europe with the prestigious Monaco Grand Prix, where the world's best drivers navigate the tight, winding streets of Monte Carlo in a test of precision and elegance. Oh wait, I'm being told that the race is in June now for some reason. However, though, it is being replaced by the Canadian Grand Prix, which for some reason F1 decided would be a good idea, especially since it would partially overlap with the greatest spectacle in racing, the Indianapolis 500. The single largest attended sporting event packs in over 350,000 passionate fans for a high-speed spectacle at the famed Indianapolis Motor Speedway, where tradition, danger, and glory collide in one of racing's most historic events. But as the sun begins to set, the engines roar once more in the middle of North Carolina. While not as prestigious as the other races at face value, many fans claim it to be one of the hottest tickets in motorsports, where NASCAR takes center stage at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Here, 40 drivers face one of the most grueling challenges in all of stock car racing, the Coca-Cola 600, an endurance test that pushes both man and machine to their absolute limits, serving as the dramatic and demanding finale to racing's most unforgettable day.
Drives down low, slides up high, is there room?
Got clear, and around he goes.
We're in the wall here, get it back rolling, come on.
Gibbs into the fence.
And here comes a crossover into
the grass.
Dang it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Busher's upside down.
But before we go over the event itself, it's significant to know the history of the racetrack that hosts the World 600, the Charlotte Motor Speedway. In 1959, the OG most popular driver Curtis Turner returned to Charlotte, North Carolina after viewing Bill France Sr.'s Daytona International Speedway in Florida and had an idea of building a racetrack in the surrounding area. Turner believed he could borrow a loan from the bank for $750,000 to build a 1.5-mile superspeedway. Yes, those were considered superspeedways at the time. We've really come a long way. With 45,000 permanent seats on his property in North Carolina. And while Curtis was trying to get the idea off the ground, he learned that aspiring businessman Bruton Smith, current CEO of Speedway Motorsports Incorporated, or SMI for short, was trying to do something similar. Smith and Turner had a meeting together about the racetrack and would attempt to form an alliance to build the racetrack, which they would fulfill. The track officially broke ground in July of 1959 and would be completed in June of 1960, costing an estimated $2 million to construct. Since then, the track has become the crown jewel of SMI, and it seats 95,000 seats that fans come in droves to sit in. Safe to say, it's doing pretty good for itself, and I think that loan paid off for Curtis. And now that we have a funny-looking oval to race around, the event began as an attempt by NASCAR to stage a Memorial Day weekend event to compete with the Indianapolis 500. It was not until 1974 that both races went against each other on the Sunday before Memorial Day due to Indianapolis's policy of not racing on Sundays prior to '74. And interestingly, prior to this, the two races were held on different days of the week, and on few occasions, some drivers attempted to run both races, which is commonly known as the double, where drivers vie to complete all 500 miles in the Indy 500, fly 695 miles to North Carolina, shout out Maple Boy, and complete the 600 in Charlotte. They continued even after the switch in '74, albeit to a lesser degree. And that same year in '93, John Andretti would attempt the double, being the first driver to do it since the switch. Many notable names have attempted the tall feat, including Robbie Gordon, Tony Stewart, Kurt Busch, Kyle Larson, and this year in 2026, Catherine Legg will become the first non-American and female driver to attempt the double in 26. Best of luck to Catherine, hope she does well. This may have been intentional to when the World 600 was created, but similar to the Indy 500, it always felt like there was an immense amount of build-up to the race. Back when it used to be at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, the All-Star race felt like an amazing event to prepare for the 600. It was a fun, non-points race that was basically a home game for all the teams. Although not as much as it used to be today, in its prime from the 90s to the mid-2010s, the All-Star race was much-watched TV. Incredible moments, racing, calls, and much, much more.
He's got him. Oh, there we go.
Keep your foot in it.
Keep your foot in it.
Still
Keep your foot in it. Ah! How'd they go to all missing? Wow!
Now that the All-Star race has returned to the state of North Carolina at North Wilkesboro Speedway, it has regained a bit of that charm. Oh yeah, then they put it at Dover Motor Speedway. Why? With it also being Memorial Day weekend, we appreciate and think about those who pay the ultimate sacrifice, fighting for our freedoms, in which we should all be extremely grateful for. With the pre-race ceremonies being extra special in this case, with the performance of Amazing Grace and Taps, along with our national anthem. In addition, starting with the implementation of stage cautions in 2017, at the end of Stage 2, it marks the halfway point of the 600 on lap 200. All of the cars come down pit lane to stop and shut the cars off for a moment of silence to honor and remember those who allowed us to enjoy our freedom. Also, keep those stage cautions in the back of your head. A bit more on them in a few moments. Furthermore, as a proud American citizen, I love my good old red, white, and blue, and 9 times out of 10, the teams nail it with the patriotic paint schemes, especially in the past few years. Those designers have been cooking recently. Now, once the most famous words in motorsports are spoken, the engines are fired, and the teams are ready to deal with the 600-mile-long marathon that is this prestigious race. Now, remember that thing about stage cautions? Well, now it's going to be relevant. The executives of NASCAR decided that since the race was so long, they thought it would be a good idea to have an extra built-in stage break, so that everything is even. So with that, the 600 is the only race in NASCAR with 4 stages, allowing for a theoretical max points day of 71 points compared to a 61 in a normal race. You would think that others would take advantage of trying to get these points rather than just wrecking people before half the race is even over. Huh? Oh wait, it has happened. Interesting. Despite teams making sure that their car is perfect, it can be tricky due to this race being a war of attrition, lasting more than 5 hours. Some cars and teams are set up well for the daytime, while fade into the nighttime, and vice versa with someone having a horrible daytime run and coming alive at night. In my opinion, there is no better example of this than in the 2022 running of the Coke 600, when Kyle Larson had a horrible start to his race, but having the best crew chief in NASCAR definitely has its perks. Crew chief Cliff Daniels is able to guide Kyle Larson into getting their individual race back on track and almost winning the race before getting caught up in a late race accident.
The outside Chastain's got him 4 wide. Oh, they're wrecking. Unbelievable. Did the caution come out?
They get the yes. White? No.
Caution before the white.
Caution. We will line up and do it again. Wow.
The best way to truly realize how this race is an overall reflection of the team is to listen to the radio for yourself.
This sucks. Me, as a driver, I suck. Not anybody else but me.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's make a deal. 35 laps till halfway. We've gone from all over the place to all over the place. So at halfway, pit crew is going to be reset. You're going to be reset. We'll work on the car a little bit more, and let's just go have 200 good laps. I know you're frustrated. I get it, but we're going to be fine. And Brandon Johnson said you better have your chin up.
I got still lap 200.
10-4. I'll give you 34 more laps. Lap 200, we're going to turn it around. How's that?
Deal.
You got a copy on me, Kyle?
Yep, let's hear it. I'm ready. I'm a new guy.
Well, it's just after 9 p.m. That means we are 3 hours to get to halfway of the race. In the first half, all I want you to remember is how good a TV we made. We went from the back to the front more times than I could count. We hit the wall, we spun out. We literally caught on fire. We are also the most penalized team on pit road in the first half. All that means is that in the second half, already we're going to be starting way better than what we started the first half. We've got to go execute right now. Starts with this pit stop. Then it's going to be the restart. Then it's going to be whatever comes our way after that. So I don't really know what the hell you're worried about, but I'm fine. The team's fine. Everybody down here is nodding their heads and giving a thumbs up. So let's go.
Yep, I'm fine. I'm ready.
It really shows how NASCAR is and always will be a team sport. With this, it truly shows how long and grueling this race is, and it is truly never over until the leader crosses the line to take the checkered flag. Let's take a look at some other iconic moments that have happened in the Coke 600. 1993, Dale Earnhardt got busted for speeding on pit road, and he really needed a caution because of that, so he decided to make up his own by spinning out Greg Sacks.
Oh, Greg Sacks getting tagged. He comes right in front of car number 3, and moving by is car number 4.
However, his attempt was unsuccessful, and he was held a lap by NASCAR for aggressive driving.
Well, this team is absolutely irate. Earnhardt came over the radio, guys. He said he never touched him. So I don't know what the camera can see from there, but Earnhardt swears he never touched him.
After that, on another stop, he was falsely penalized for not having all 5 lug nuts tightened, which in fact all 5 were tight. Controversially then, NASCAR threw the caution after the debacle, but despite that, Earnhardt was able to make up his laps and take the lead late in the race on his way to his 3rd Coke 600 win. 1994, sophomore driver Jeff Gordon, still looking for his first career win, trying to get past the dominant car of Rusty Wallace, crew chief Ray Evernham gambled on the final pit stop by only taking 2 tires. And it was enough for the Rainbow Warrior and the 24 crew to take their first of 93 wins for the Indiana native.
I'm speechless, man. I mean, this is the greatest day of my life. I don't know what to say. I mean, you know, it's a wonderful feeling.
2000, Little E, Dale Earnhardt Jr. trying to become the first rookie to win this race, winning the pole and dominating all phases of this race. However, after getting into some late race issues, rookie Matt Kenseth was fended off eventual champion that season Bobby Labonte over the final laps, taking the honor for himself and achieving his first career win.
Comes Winston Cup win, number 1 in the Coca-Cola 600 for Wisconsin's Matt Kenseth.
In 2001, Rocket Man Ryan Newman, in rookie form by the way, lived up to his nickname by qualifying on the pole, and he led the first part of the race, until he wasn't.
I believe he's going to be a strong contender all night long. Whoa, if he doesn't beat himself.
Oh, he hits outside wall. He's going to come down.
Oh, overcorrected, Darrell. She got that wobble. Hard contact.
While Jeff Burton won the race, though, it was Tony Stewart stealing the headlines by becoming the first driver to successfully pull off the double, where he completed all 500 miles at Indy, flying 695 miles from track to track, and all 600 miles at Charlotte. Tony was no slouch either, finishing 6th and 3rd respectively, and an average finish of 4.5 across the board. As of this video, Stewart is the only driver to complete all 1,795 miles. Take notes, Kyle Larson.
We got a spinner. Larson hits Simpson.
I think there goes Kyle Larson sliding off the corner. First caution of the night.
Make it go! Big Rick!
Suarez in the 99 around into Blaney.
More cars getting contact there. Huge crash. The 5, the 7. Wow.
Then 2005, going into this race, the Charlotte Motor Speedway had been repaved using levigation, along with Goodyear struggling with tires this season. As a result of these total inputs, the output was an absolute wreckfest, and set a new record for the most cautions in any NASCAR Cup race at a staggering 22 cautions. However, this race was also remembered for Jimmy Johnson barely edging Bobby Labonte out of the line, claiming the checkered flag by inches.
Atlanta last March. He's not going to be able to do it. I don't think they're side by side.
Here he comes.
Jimmy Johnson. 48 car. He did it.
2007, this race was a fuel mileage lottery. Tony Stewart dominated the race, trying to win his first Coca-Cola 600. Stewart was leading with 10 laps remaining, but with 8 to go he had to pit running dry on fuel, giving the lead then to Dale Earnhardt Jr. Until then he ran out of fuel, having to come down pit road. Then Denny Hamlin would lead with 7 laps remaining until he also ran out of gas, and this would lead Casey Mears to take the lead with 6 laps to go, and would cross the line on fumes to take his only Cup Series win.
He can coast from there.
For the National Guard, Casey Mears is going to win his first Nextel Cup race, the Coke 600.
Good for him, all right.
And due to the crazy fuel situation, this top 5 was absolutely nuts, consisting of J.J. Yaley 2nd, Kyle Petty 3rd, Reed Sorensen 4th, and Redacted in 5th. And just like 2007, 2011 was another fuel mileage lottery. And Junior Nation, I'm not sorry.
Oh, he's slowing, isn't he?
150,000 people on their feet.
Junior is slowing. He's out of fuel. He's out of gas.
And as at Indy, the leader at turn 4 does not get to the flag. Harvick, the closer, wins it.
Once again, where did he come from?
And then 2013 was extremely weird, as the race was red flagged 126 laps in, when a cable that supported a Skycam used by Fox Sports over the front stretch of the racetrack snapped and fell onto the racing surface. several spectators were injured as a result of the failure, and several race cars were unfortunately damaged. Due to this, NASCAR would allow the teams that got caught up in this incident to repair their cars under a red flag, and the race would be restarted, but then was red flagged again on lap 325 for a large wreck entering turn 1.
Oh, trouble, run straight away. 3 wide and 2 cars pile hard into the wall.
It's a terrible wreck.
This time, teams did not get the chance to repair their cars. Kevin Harvick won the race for a second time when he took 2 tires on the final caution and passed Kasey Kahne for the victory. And then in 2016, Martin Truex Jr. put everyone to sleep as he would win the most dominant race in NASCAR history. Truex started on the pole and led an event record 392 of 400 laps and led a series record 588 of 600 miles en route to his first win and only win in the Coke 600. Additionally, this race was clocked in as the fastest Coca-Cola 600 in history with an average speed of 160.655 miles an hour, with the race time finishing in 3 hours, 44 minutes, and 5 seconds. And then in 2017, Toyota was dominating the night. Kyle Busch and Martin Truex Jr. looked to be the class of the field, but unfortunately due to fuel strategy, they had to pit. And this put Jimmy Johnson in the lead to potentially win yet another Coke 600. But unfortunately, the tank ran dry, and Austin Dillon would somehow cross the line to take his first career victory, and this would mark the return of the number 3 to victory lane for the first time since Dale Earnhardt scored the final career victory of his at Talladega in 2000. And last but not least, the 2022 running was by far the most chaotic in modern NASCAR, with many describing the race as the best race run in the Gen 7 car as of this video. With 18 caution flags and an elapsed time of 5 hours and 13 minutes, this race surpassed the 2019 running as the longest since 2005, coming just 46 seconds short of being longer than 05. The race concluded after running a total of 619.5 miles, brought on by 2 overtime finishes, breaking the 2011 record for the longest NASCAR race ever by distance. Overall, the Coke 600, or the World 600, whatever you would like to call it, is a race that must be taken seriously. It is one that requires physical and mental strength. It requires teams to make split-second decisions in order to gain an advantage, which could mean the difference between victory and defeat. This race is also one that is truly never over till it is over. Combining all of these factors mentioned in this video, this is must-watch TV, and it is always circled on my calendar every Sunday before Memorial Day. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. This was a ton of fun to make, being able to reflect back on NASCAR history and learn a lot about this prestigious event. There's a lot of crazy facts I didn't know, and it's amazing with how much research I put into this and how much I was able to truly learn, not only about this race, but also just some crazy NASCAR nuggets. That's a new term that I just invented. But anyways, if you do want to see more videos like this, make sure to like, subscribe, so that whenever I upload, you will not miss it. You'll get notified. And also comment below if you've had any cool experiences at Charlotte. I would love to hear them. I like stories. And that's going to be it from me. Hope you guys enjoyed. And until I post again, see you guys later.